Hi, welcome to Mark's English Academy, the place to learn English fast. When you travel to another country, it can be very stressful because you have to travel through sometimes 2 or 3 different airports. And airports are very stressful places. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you some airport vocabulary that will help make your travels easier. Every airport has 2 areas, arrivals and departures. The arrivals level is always on the first floor and the departures level is always on the second floor. Now, airports are full of escalators and elevators. An escalator is a moving stairway, and an elevator is a big box that you go up and down in. In Canada and the United States, we call them elevators, but in the UK, they call them lifts. So you need to take a lift from the arrivals level to the departures level. Inside the elevator, there'll be a button that says arrivals or departures. Okay, so when you arrive at an airport, you walk off the plane and you walk through the bridge. So this is a bridge. And when you get into the airport, you have 2 options. If you're at your final destination, then you need to go through customs. But if you're not at your final destination, then you need to catch a connecting flight. Okay, so you need to look for a sign that says connections or connecting flights. For example, if you're flying from Frankfurt, Germany to Karachi, Pakistan, you might connect through Istanbul, Turkey. So when you land in Istanbul, you don't need to go through customs. You need to look for the sign that says connections, and then you go and you find your next flight. But if it is your final destination, then you need to go through customs. So you'll look for a sign that says customs and immigration, or customs and border control. Okay, so there you'll wait in a long line and you'll pull out your passport, give it to them, and they'll stamp your passport. And then you can go to the baggage claim. This area is called the baggage claim. Now, a baggage claim at a big airport like Frankfurt or London, it will have lots and lots of baggage carousels. These are called baggage carousels. There. Now you need to make sure that you wait at the right carousel, because big airports might have 20 or more carousels. So when you enter the baggage claim area, you'll see a sign and you need to find your flight and then the right baggage carousel. For example, it might say Air Canada from Shanghai, carousel number 15. Okay, so after you get your suitcase, then before you can see your family or friends, you'll see a sign that says goods to declare. Goods to declare. goods are things, like a gun or gifts, anything. Goods means things, and declare means to say. For example, if you're bringing a gun into a country, you need to tell them that you're bringing a gun into the country, otherwise they'll be very mad at you. Also, you need to declare if you're bringing in more than $10,000 cash. So if you're going to Canada or the United States, you need to declare if you're bringing in more than $10,000 cash. If you don't declare it, then they'll probably confiscate all your money, and then you'll have no money when you're in the country. So remember to declare any goods that you need to. Okay, the next word is terminal. So a terminal is the airport building. For example, this is one terminal and this is another terminal. And they have numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. London Heathrow Airport, for example, has 5 terminals. So you need to make sure that you're at the right terminal. Otherwise, you might get lost. So the next word is tram. Now, usually between terminals, you can take a tram. A tram is a small train. So sometimes if you're connecting, if you're taking, if you have to make a connection in a city, you'll probably have to change terminals. And then you need to look for a sign that might say tram or your terminal number, and then you take the tram over to your terminal. I like taking trams. They're kind of fun. Okay, now when you're departing, then the first thing you need to do when you get to the airport is to check in. And you need to go to check-in to check in. The word check-in can be a noun and a verb. So you go to check-in to check in. Now, when you're at check-in, you have 2 options. You can either talk to a person who's called a check-in agent. So these are check-in agents. Or you can check in yourself by using a kiosk. These things are called check-in kiosks. Okay, after you check in, then you need to go through security. So there will probably be a sign that says security check. Then you need to take out your wallet, your phone, your laptop, and they search you, and then you're finished and you can go to your gate. So after you go through security, you need to find your gate number. Now your gate, the gate is the area where you wait before you get on the plane. So a gate number is usually a letter and a number. For example, D43. Now, if you're hungry, you might want to eat something before your flight. So then you need to look for the food court. A food court is an area with lots of different restaurants where you can eat and drink before your flight. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to read a boarding pass. But first, it's sponsor time. This lesson is brought to you by nobody. Instead of watching me land in Vancouver, You could be watching me promote your product or service. All right, here is our boarding pass. We're flying on United Airlines, and we're flying from Rapid City, South Dakota to Denver, Colorado. These three letters, RAP, here and here, that means the airport code. So every airport in the world has a code. So RAP means Rapid City, and DEN means Denver, Colorado. Okay, so we need to go to our departure gate. So our departure gate is A22, and our boarding time is 3:15 p.m. The word board means to get on. So we need to get on the plane at 3:15 p.m. and our departure time is 3:40 p.m. Usually the boarding time is about 30 minutes before the departure time. Now we're sitting in seat number 23A, and that's in zone 2. So most airlines have boarding by zone number. So the gate agent will say, we're now boarding zone 2. So if you have 2 on your boarding pass, that means you should go and board. They board the back of the plane first to save time. So we need to find seat number 23A when we get on the plane, and that's in coach. Coach means economy class. So most big airplanes have 3 different classes. Economy class, business class, and first class. So economy class, or coach, is usually in the back here, and then business class is closer to the front, and first class is right up front. This plane here looks like it only has 2 classes, economy and maybe business class. Okay, so when you get on the plane, I hope you have a window seat, but you might not have a window seat. The seats on the edge here, they're called window seats, and then these seats are called aisle seats. So this is an aisle. So most big planes have 2 aisles, and these are called rows. So you have a window seat, an aisle seat, and a middle seat. I hope you don't get the middle seat, because middle seats really suck. You don't have any room for your arms. Okay, so this, inside the plane, it's called the cabin. That's why the workers in the cabin are called cabin crew, or flight attendants. Just before takeoff, you'll hear the pilot say, "Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff." So he's telling the flight attendants to sit down before the plane takes off. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you here is that bathrooms on a plane are usually called lavatories. The word lavatory is just a fancy name for a bathroom. And these areas here in the back, the middle, and the front of the aircraft, that's where the flight attendants prepare the food. Those places are called the galley. There's usually a galley at the front, and maybe in the middle, and a galley at the back. And this place where the pilot sits, that's called the cockpit. And let's go back to our boarding pass. Okay, so we're departing from gate A22. We're boarding at 3:15. We're departing at 3:40. We have our seat number. We have the boarding zone, our name, last name, and first name. Now you'll notice here it says first leg to SFO. SFO means San Francisco. Leg here means part. So we're actually going to San Francisco, but our first flight is to Denver. Transfer at Denver. That means we're connecting in Denver. And here is our flight number. So United Flight D3048. So now you know how to read a boarding pass. All right, if you love traveling, then click on the like button right down there. But if you hate traveling, then leave a comment and tell me your worst travel experience. I'll see you over in the next lesson. Take care.